The new update just dropped this morning, and thankfully it was not an April Fool's joke. So there is a ton of stuff they added. I'm probably not going to be able to go over everything, but I'm going to do my best to kind of cover all the main things, and then maybe I'll do another video down the line to kind of go into the more specifics. But yeah, there's a lot. I've been playing this for the last hour, and I've been impressed so far with all the additions. So I'm going to kind of break this into like 5 different sections. Feel free to just skip around if you're kind of like, I don't really care about cultures or whatever. So first off, I'm just going to kind of go over some small changes that I've been hoping that they would add to the game. So I'm really happy to see that they're here. First is kind of dumb, but honestly, very nice, is they actually added a way that you can just go mega speed in the main game. This is something that like mods had done, and you could also do like enable in the debug menu, but you know, it's nice that you can just do it here. The other kind of small silly thing that I'm really happy they added is the loot rain option, because this was something that was in mods again before. Happy to see it's in the main game. So pretty straightforward. You can choose items, you can rain them down on people. I guess it also like stuns them for a second. It's also a lot easier now to kind of see what's going on with your people without having to like access a whole menu for it. Now they have, you can see all their traits down here, all their items, you know, damage, different stats, different things like that. The other like small thing I'm excited about is you can now favorite items, which I wish I had for that video I did a couple weeks ago, because that was just a nightmare to try and keep track of one item. Yeah, and then you can just go into this tab and see favorited items. Another small thing, but one thing I've been hoping that they would add. That's actually funny. You can see them like on the map. Okay, there's just a giant pair of boots walking around. All right, now we can move on to
the juicy stuff.
Second thing I wanted to go over was the new biomes, which was actually kind of a nice little surprise. It was totally not something I was thinking about with the whole new update, but they actually added a lot, and each one comes with like new creatures and things too, which we'll go over a little bit later. But yeah, we have the like birch biome, there's the maple biome, the onion biome. Yeah, I don't really know what this like freaky little guy is. I guess he's just an onion. Just a living onion. Oh, that was actually the other thing that I totally forgot to mention in the first section and is pretty important, is the addition of health bars, like the ability to just see health bars, and then you can also just command creatures to move now. This guy's being stubborn, but you can actually you can straight up just select creatures and move them wherever you want. Anyways, moving on to the other new biomes, we have the Rockland Seeds, which has these little rock heads and whatever these are, hopping little freaks. And then a few more, we have the Celestial biome, which is actually really cool. I like that they have these just ginormous trees. I'm like really curious to see how the races like cut these down, or even if they do, maybe they just don't. I don't know, but they're humongous and they're great. Then next is the Paradox biome, which I guess spawns those goats or whatever we saw earlier. And then we have the Flower biome, which is very nice. Then we also have the Celestial biome, which is really cool actually. I really like these kind of glitch effects on the trees, and they also spawn like angels or something, whatever these are. Yeah, angels. Oh, my bad. This is actually the Singularity Swamp, which I guess makes a little more sense than Celestial. Celestial was the one with the big trees. And then lastly, we have the Clover biome. So far, this is just spawning flies and rabbits. I'm not sure if it spawns anything else. But yeah, very pleasantly surprised with how many biomes they added. And then I'm not entirely sure what to call this next section. I guess I'll call it like language and emotions, I guess would be what it is. But all the species in the world are now a lot more complex. They actually kind of have like language and different emotions and different traits that they can get, like temporary traits, stuff like that. Like, yeah, you can kind of see people have conversations. I don't know if they actually like mean anything or they're just kind of nonsensical. You know, this guy's talking about dying and then this guy's just laughing at it. But yeah, it's kind of fun to watch. People actually like do things. This guy's singing a little song. You can see people like sleep. And it does seem like there are a lot of these different statuses too. Like social recovery. There's antisocial people in this game, and laughing. And you can also see like little quotes from them. A vision just came to me, he says. I don't know what that means. I hope they stick around. I don't even know. I feel like I demand context, is what this guy says. He's just like me, always demanding context. But yeah, definitely a fun little addition to this game. Just makes the little like individual humans a little more interesting to watch, which is very cool. All right, now everyone go jump in the lava. All right, so we've been over like small changes. We've been over the new biomes. We've been over kind of the new language and emotions type things. I think these last two things are the two biggest things that are being added in this update. So the fourth thing is the addition of new races. And you probably saw this in the patch notes if you read over them, but this is a lot bigger of a function than I thought it would be. Because I was kind of under the impression that it would just be like, oh, you could make frog people, or you could make like cat people. Like there's like a few different new, you know, races or whatever you can add, but no, there are like so many. I haven't unlocked all of them yet, but it seems like pretty much every creature in this game can be converted into like an intelligent species, which is just insane. So in order to do this, you need to first place a monolith down, and then you just need to have creatures nearby, and it'll convert them into like advanced creatures. So for instance, we'll throw some frogs down. We'll throw some, I really want to do piranhas, but I don't know how that works. Maybe we'll throw some llamas. We'll throw some rats. We'll just throw a bunch of random stuff in there. Some penguins. And yep, I can't tell which species got converted. It might be whatever this is. The raccoon. Oh, it's the frogs. Where are they? Okay, here they are. Is that a frog? No, that's a rat guy. Oh, that's funny. Do they... They're intelligent, but they're still like frogs. This guy's like, I exist now? It's crazy. It might take him a little bit to grow into like a humanoid creature, or maybe it doesn't. It would be hilarious if the frogs literally just stayed frogs, but they just build buildings now. Because I don't think that's really how it works with any of the other creatures. Like the rats are now just humanoid rat people. But yeah, seemingly like every mutated animal creates their own sets of buildings too. But yeah, like the rat people have their own buildings, the frog people have their own buildings, etc. I want to actually see, I'm pretty sure you can make piranha people, but I want to see how that works if they just build in the water or something. I am getting a little bit sidetracked here, but I do really want to see how this works. So can we just place it like in the water? We can place it on the land. And okay, it just made that guy confused. It doesn't seem to really be doing what I want it to do. But yeah, again, I'm just assuming that it's all the creatures. That's why there's so many different blacked out tabs here, because all of these so far have all been sentient creatures. We have like bunny people, we have rat people, penguin people. Oh, the penguins are actually like so sick. Oh, wait, it might actually be working. They're communicating with each other. Social recovery. A piranha is recovering from too much social activity. That's just insane. But yeah, it looks like they're actually becoming more intelligent. And then what abomination did we create up here? I think this is sheep people, wherever they are. I don't think the ostriches work. They're the one that I found that, because we spawned so many of them and they're just not getting it. They're too stupid. Okay, I think we actually made it work on the raccoons. Or no, the wolves. Nice. Okay, so that's another one we got. Raccoons are building a little like colony here, but I don't know where they are. I'm hoping that we can get like intelligent bears, but so far that hasn't really been working yet. But that's not the only thing that's interesting about the addition of the new species. There's also a subspecies layer, which is a new tab. And with this, you can actually edit how the species themselves work. Again, I don't have all these unlocked, but there's some pretty crazy stuff you can do so far. There's 204 different like traits you can give them. Yeah, like for instance, this is the ostriches subspecies. And we can first off, we can edit like how big of a population they can have. So we can go up to 3,000. We can also make them like super limited. And then some different kind of traits you can give them, like fast builders, cautious instincts. You can literally just remove their stomach. Yeah, things like fins, things like hovering. I mean, we can make a kingdom of flying dogs. We can do anything. Wow, just so many tabs. Diet, you can change like what they eat, if they're gonna be herbivores, carnivores. Rebirth, I'm not entirely sure what this is yet, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, still like discovering these. I think for some of them I'm gonna have to get some different achievements which I'll have to look into. But oh, I didn't have this unlocked before, but you can actually change the color of them. Whoa, interesting. We can have gray ostriches. And then the last thing on the list is the cultures. So before, like, cultures would kind of work in such a linear way, which I wasn't a huge fan of, where kind of every kingdom would end up being exactly the same. And they've totally like overhauled that whole system. Similar to the subspecies, we can kind of really determine how these kingdoms or cultures kind of work. So for instance, you know, we can make them solitude seekers. We can so they kind of build buildings pretty sparingly, or we can make them pretty dense. You can edit the town plans, which is actually really cool. You can see that this town, like, everything is so uniform. Yeah, we could just make them just absolutely mad. You can literally make them xenophobic, so they just want to kill everyone else. Yeah, apparently the cat people are xenophobes, which maybe makes sense. Yeah, man, there's just so much. It's gonna take me a long time to unlock this. I'm not entirely sure what item crafting is. Yeah, I couldn't really find how to do that. I know there's like ways for them to kind of discover, like someone will discover like an ancient scroll or something that'll have like a blueprint on it for something. But my assumption is they can basically just discover how to make certain unique items, for instance, like the white wizard staff, or like the demon sword. I guess even the alien blaster is something that I can discover, assuming that's how this works, which would be kind of wild. Kingdom just being able to craft literally like futuristic weapons. Well, anyways, mostly just wanted to do like a brief overview of everything that's new. There's a lot of like small things, you know, if you look in any of these tabs, you'll see some new different god powers, things like that. But I don't want to like make this video an hour long to go over all these things. You know, I think I'm really enjoying this update so far. From what I've seen, it seems like there's just so much you can do with it. So just looking forward to kind of making more videos on it, messing around with it. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.